Had to take a breath there, y'all. Very, very special guest today on Prep News. Uh, the this process in getting this set up has been a fairly hard transition, but it takes what it takes sometimes. I'm super elated to have this guest because she means a lot to me. And the progression of life always takes a hard curve or explodes out as in with a quarter-mile race car driver. It just explodes out of the block. Please, off the bench prep news family, please, please, please help us welcome our guest.
Courtney Grayson, hitter, East Assistant Spartans volleyball, class of 2026.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Prep News. I promise I'm gonna try to do a better job at this than I did the first time I interviewed my son. I think at some point I cried like a baby during the interview, and was just in a really crazy space. So I'm gonna try to do a little better with my daughter here. Um, Again, as a journalist, interviewing it sometimes comes second nature, and it seems like it may get monotonous, monotoned, or y'all know what I'm saying. And so every now and then you get a really very special interview that just makes your heart so happy it sings. I had one last week with Kendall Davis, and now this week with Courtney Grayson. Tell us a little bit about Courtney Grayson and who she is.
Well, the way that the way who I am is basically volleyball. That's really what made me who I am, and just playing the game and just being around my teammates who turned into friends and then family. That's what made me who I am.
When did you know volleyball was just what you were supposed to be doing?
I knew that it was what I was supposed to be doing when I just was happy. When I was playing, and every time I stepped foot on the court, it just made me happy. Playing with my teammates made me happy. Every time we got a point and celebrated, that made me happy. And that's how I knew that it was my sport, and it just felt right.
One day you were sitting around just being a phenomenal student athlete, and it's crazy the things we remember in life because I never anticipated you being an athlete. I had in my mind I had gotten comfortable with you just going to school, doing great in school as you've always done. And one day you said, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna play volleyball." And I remember telling you, "Girl, stop playing. You ain't playing no volleyball. You don't even like the sweat." uh, what changed?
Well, I don't know what changed. Just it feels good to play the sport, to play volleyball. And for the first time that I played it to now, it just feels right. It feels good to play it. Yeah, just
Feels good.
yeah, it feels great.
Let's talk about this real quick. Um, and again, take your time. It's no rush. It's no pressure. You first come into volleyball, seventh grader at Central Middle School, and your eighth grade season goes by. What were those 2 years like for you as a young volleyballer who was trying to learn the game? You know what was your thoughts in reason or relation to what you needed to do?
In those 2 years, um, it just taught me the basics to help me prepare for high school. It taught me how to pass, how to hit, how to block. It just taught me everything I needed to know. It helped me be better in those 2 years, and I learned a lot from my environment that I was in the school that I played at. It just helped me get better.
You you process your first 2 years, and again, sometimes what we look at or and what we look for are totally different from what we need to be seeing. Did you think that in your first two school years that your skill set got better?
Yes, I think it did get better. Like every just time I just worked on what I was doing, I always saw a better outcome than the last. I just kept progressing, kept getting better, and it just yeah, it just helped me get better.
You you finish your middle school volleyball career, and now it's time to make a decision. You choose Red Storm club volleyball team. What was the first thing that you knew or that you felt was different from middle school to your first ever playing with and for your first ever club team?
It was a huge difference. Like Red Storm really helped me get better. The environments are completely different. The coaching staff was great, and the teammates and the relationship, it was all good. It just really helped me get better and progress as a player, and it helped me as a person as well to become a better person. It was a really good club team, and it was a good decision.
You go into your first tournament. Um, can you remember what emotions you were feeling before the first game you played?
I
Where,
was
where,
nervous. I was very.
um, what did you do to try to break the nervousness factor that you were feeling inside you? How'd you get over the nervousness?
I just thought about myself playing on the court. I just imagined myself playing volleyball and getting blocks or getting kills, and that's how I overcame my nerves.
You incoming. I don't. I'm just using this as a reference point, but it's a question. It's the question that matters. Okay, so uh, you you've grown a lot over the last few years. Have you adjusted to the increase in height and dealing with the expected performance um, with the height that you have? Did you understand the question?
No.
So it's a two-part question. Um, in being a young athlete, you've had to adjust to your body sprouting up.
Mhm.
How have you dealt with that?
Well, it wasn't really hard to adjust to me getting taller. It was really easy, to be honest.
How did you handle the expectation from being the tallest player on your club team and everyone expecting you to be able to, you know, get a lot of blocks, and how'd you handle the disappointment when it didn't go the way you expected it to go in your mind?
It was hard because a lot of people expected me to be everywhere and do like everything, get every single block, get every single kill. Like that was hard, and it was hard on myself too because I would have liked to seen myself get every single block and every single kill, and it was hard to not have that happen, but I just had to move past it and work more on myself to one point get there to where I can do that.
You finish tournament one, and let's move a little bit forward to tournament three or four. Do you remember the Houston tournament or the first time that you guys went to um, Birmingham to play?
Yeah.
What do you remember about those events?
I remember in the Houston tournament, we did really good as a team. We probably overall lost one game, but we did really good. We progressed throughout the weekend, and we just did good overall. And in the Birmingham tournament, it's like the same thing. We just kept progressing, kept getting better, and kept working hard.
How do you feel that you were progressing as a young volleyball player by third, fourth, fifth tournaments that you have participated in? Did you feel that you were really getting better? Did you feel that your IQ about the game was getting better?
Yes. Yes to both. I feel like I was getting better as soon as we were at the next tournament. I was better than the last. And it just kept going like that. I just kept getting better and better. I got better with my blocking. I got better with my timing. Got better with my hitting. Got better with my serving, passing, just everything I got better with. And my IQ, I know a lot more now than I did when in seventh grade.
That I would hope so. uh, you guys have a fairly good season up until the point of nationals. Now, nationals is the biggest volleyball event that you played in your young career. What were your emotions like going into nationals?
I was excited and I was nervous at the same time. Like I wanted to win nationals, and we did win nationals, but not the gold bracket. But we still won nationals. I was very excited when we did, and I was also nervous going to that championship game because like I wanted to win, but I didn't want to lose. So my emotions kind of everywhere.
You wanted to win, but you didn't want to lose. I don't think nobody comes to with the intent of I'm going to be happy in losing. That's I just that doesn't seem the way the game works in the athletic world. Everybody I think prepares to win. Even when it doesn't happen, I think that's the ultimate goal or game plan is to win. You guys win nationals, and immediately after returning from nationals, you don't really get to celebrate because now you walk into your high school career. You start the rigorous schedule in the 30 days. before school. You guys are practicing and competing. What was the what has been the biggest thing that or biggest adjustment that you've had to make um, between club and your high school volleyball season?
The biggest adjustment was my coach's expectations of me. Like with club, the expectations were lower because of my age group,
Right.
and with high school, with me being on varsity, the expectations were way higher.
How,
That's
how's it been being a freshman or the only freshman that's on varsity? How has that been for you?
it was good. It's been good for me. Like I said, the expectations were a little harder to work with and harder to adjust with, but I've gotten better with adjusting, and it's just overall it was good.
Right. You so going from level to level, you 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 have to adjust to three things. A is getting bigger, B is becoming stronger, and C is learning to play faster as the game has gotten faster. And so you don't get the regular learning curve that most freshmen get by just playing all freshman games or freshman and JV games. You know, you've gotten or you've been blessed with some special gifts that has fast tracked you to varsity. In the process of scrimmages and team camps, how has the varsity pace uh, prepared you to be ready for the regular season?
It's prepared me a lot. It's like way faster. It's way harder. It like from the first team camp to the last team camp, like I've noticed that it's a lot faster. It goes faster. It's harder from the other team. When they hit the ball over, it's hard. Their serves are harder. Like everything's way harder. But from those team camps and them scrimmages, I feel like I'm more used to it now. So I know what to expect and I know how to prepare for our first game.
Man, you're just growing up right before my eyes, man. I I was really conflicted when you guys went to the Georgia Tech team camp because I was in the area, and I think the hardest thing for me was not being there, not being able to see you compete at a high level event, and trying to allow you the room and the space to grow up. Because I think I learned some things from Junior. And I said this the other day in the interview. The biggest thing for parents is to try to not make the same mistakes and acknowledge that you made mistakes from one child to the next. And I think that was for me not giving your brother Hobart just enough space. And I also got a lot of people said, well, you need to let Hobart do this or you need to let Hobart do that. And they don't even know that he made his own decisions about athletics. We just try to put him in a place to where he can make informed decisions. Um, how has that process been for you and being able to just um, one day at a time take your time through the process of learning how to be the young lady you've been raised to be, along with handling or dealing with peer pressure that comes with having to be around older girls?
Well, it was kind of hard at first with the peer pressure and being around older girls, but the more I am around them or I was around them, it just got easier because I make my own decisions. I'm not gonna let them, affect my decisions, but it just got easier over time.
You've talked a lot in this conversation about uh, team and family, and how much does that mean to you, being able to create special memories at an early age with your teammates and your sisters?
It feels great to be able to have these memories now, and looking back like 10 to 20 years from now, I'll be able to be like, oh, remember that time I was in high school as a freshman and I had all these wonderful teammates and coaches, and I just had these family relationships with them.
Right.
It's gonna be nice to look back on those memories. So I just want to make the best of it while I can.
I've watched you um, during the month of July. I was blessed to be able to see you play a few games, scrimmages, and uh, you know, I've known your coach for some years. Shout out to Coach Jamie. Uh, I like before you even knew you were going to be a volleyball player. I watched Coach Jamie and the energy and passion that she emits from her love and for her love of volleyball. How much of that passion has transferred to you in regards to the effort and energy you put into it, knowing that Coach Jamie is a teacher of the game first?
Well, the energy that she gives off, she just made me love the game 10 times more. And the way she just is a coach, and she takes the time to help me get better in the things that I lack or the things that I struggle in. She just is there. She helps me get better, and the energy is just amazing.
Do you remember the first thing she fussed at you about?
Probably me not getting my hand on top of the ball.
Well, explain that.
Like I would hit the ball from like right here instead of like being on top of the ball.
Having your arm elongated.
Yes.
How'd you feel after
I felt confused because
that?
I feel like every time I go up to hit, my hand does be on top of the ball, but every time I do finish hitting, she'll be like, "Get your hand on top of the ball," and I'm like, "My hand is on top of the ball," but
Couldn't that just be a reminder with you being a young volleyballer, and she's just trying to ingrain it into your memory
yeah,
to make sure you always do it?
yeah.
What's been the funnest part about this real young, real early high school volleyball season?
I say the most fun part so far is probably
So,
the team camps.
team camps?
Yes,
Why was that the fun part?
because it just at those team camps I was able to like see how my team plays and just work around how I play. And I also got to bond with my teammates, especially when we were in Georgia. We just got to build better relationships on and off the court. So that's why I think that team camp so far was the funnest part.
Adjusting to the speed of the game, scale of 1 to 5, one being not very well, five being extremely well. How do you think you've adjusted to the speed of the game?
I say I think probably a 3 or a 4.
Why 3 or 4?
because it kind of took me a little while at first to adjust, but every single game I progressed a little bit more with adjusting to how fast the high school game goes.
Is it really fast?
Yes.
What what have you done to help you prepare for what do you do to help you prepare to be able to play at this really fast paced speed that you're having to play with now?
Well, I first I like to just work on my skill level, like things that I will mostly be doing because I will have to block them just so it won't have to continue to go fast so we can slow them down and we can gain momentum or whatever. I just like to work on those type things.
Um, Jamboree is coming up in about 7 days, 6, 7 days. Have you thought about that, Andy?
Yes, I have.
What's what are those emotions that you're feeling about actually starting your high school career?
Excitement. That's the main one is excitement. I'm excited to start a long and good season with my teammates and I'm ready for a successful year.
What's the goal? What are some of the goals you've set for yourself in this season?
Some of the goals that I've set for myself are like to jump higher, to move quicker, just like some of the little things that I still need to work on, but it's just those type things.
I really think that you get it. It's I don't think I've heard you mention winning and losing at all. And at this stage, I think at this stage of the game for you, it shouldn't be about winning and losing. It should be about just understanding who you are as a volleyballer, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and what you need to do to ensure you get better. And as long as you can do those little things, because like I've always tried to tell you about the school part of it. If you do the little things, it'll make the pieces clear to put the puzzle together, and now you see the big picture, the overall picture. So don't lose that mindset of being a student first, be it student in school, student in athletics, student in life. Being a student part is what makes you great, and it'll keep an ever evolving door open for you to always be learning and growing mentally, physically, spiritually, and all those wonderful things. How you feel?
I feel good.
Me too, and I didn't cry. So it's been a great interview, great chopping it up with you. Hopefully we can do this again soon. Um, as the season progresses, um, I am honored that you took a moment to join us here on Off the Bench Sports Prep News. Hey, any shout outs, any final thoughts?
Um, no.
In typical Courtney Grayson fashion, she leaves us wondering. Um, Thanks again. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.